Hello everyone, here's the solutions for today's maths. We're talking about area and this is challenge 1. Now your first question was to draw those shapes on your 1 centimetre squared paper in your maths jotters. Obviously we'll take a look at those whenever you submit them and see how well you drew those shapes. But question 2 was find the area of each shape in square centimetres. So if we look at shape A, you can see here that it was 5 centimetres long and 3 centimetres wide. So using our rule for finding the area is A times B, which means that the area is the width times the length, or the length times the width. So we're multiplying the length and width together, and A was 15 centimetres squared, 3 times 5. Shape B is 6 centimetres times 2 centimetres, width times length, which is 12 centimetres squared. Shape C was 5 centimetres wide and 2 centimetres long, so 5 times 2, which is 10 centimetres squared. Shape D, 3 centimetres wide and 4 centimetres long, which was 12 centimetres squared. 3 times 4 is 12. And shape E was 3 times 3, it's 3 wide and 3 long. So 3 squared really is 9 centimetres squared. Now you'll have been able to count those square centimetres whenever you drew them in your books, or just do the calculation. Area is the length times the width to find out what the answer was. Challenge 2, we're again using our rule. So area is length times width, or width times length. It doesn't matter which way around you do it. So shape A, question 1, shape A was 5 times 7, which is 35, so that's 35 centimetres squared. Shape B was 9 times 3, which is 27 centimetres squared. Shape C, 8 times 4, is 32 centimetres squared. And shape D was 6 times 6, it's a square. So 6 squared, 6 sixes, is 36 centimetres squared. And that's why we call them squared numbers, because when we multiply them together, they create that number of squares. So 6 sixes makes 36 centimetres squared. Number 2, write the 4 shapes in order of area, largest to smallest. So I can see here that the largest one is D. So D would be first, followed, that's 36, followed by A, which was 35, so that's A would be my next one, followed by C, which is 32, and then B at the end. So D, A, C, B was the shapes in order of area from largest down to smallest. Okay, challenge 2, question 3. A we did together in our teaching video as an example, and the answer to that one was 16 centimetres squared. So let's take a look at B. And in shape B, we have some half squares and some whole squares again, and we're going to start off by counting the whole squares. Now, if you split the shape up a bit, you can actually see that it makes a square or a rectangle even here. So I've got a 4 by 3 rectangle, so I know the area of this first part is 12, so I've got 12 whole squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus these 2 other squares here. Okay, those are holes as well there, so I've got to remember to add those on. So there's another 2 to add on. And I have to also then count my half squares. So I'm going to count my half squares very carefully here. I've got 2 on this side and 2 on that side, and I can tell that those are exactly half a square. They go from corner to corner diagonally, so they're half a square. So 4 halves make 2 holes. 4 halves make 2 holes. If I divide the halves, the total number of halves by 2, I get 2. 4 halves make 2 holes. If I put these 2 together, that would make 1. And if I put these 2 together, that would make another one. So I have 2 whole squares from those halves there. So 12 and 2 and 2. Again, the area of this shape is 16 centimetres squared. Looking at shape C then, I can count my whole squares again. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You might have spotted a quicker way to do that, which would be to split your shape up a little bit. And if I split it into a rectangle, I'm looking now at this rectangle here, all whole squares, and I've got 5 down and 3 across. So I know that part is 15. So I've got 15 to start off with there. I'm just going to mark on that I've counted those in case I go back later and forget. Any other whole squares in my shape? Yes, so I can see there's one here. So there's another whole square and also one here. So that's 2 more whole squares to add on. And then this shape, do I have any half squares? Yes, I do. There's one there and one there. It's a symmetrical shape, so it's the same on the other side. I have 4 halves, which as we know makes 2 holes. 4 halves makes 2 holes. So there's 2 more to add on there. There's my halves, there and there. And then we have these little pieces, which, as we discussed in the teaching video, are a bit like a puzzle. So if I cut this piece out and I was to flip it upside down and stick it onto that, that would make 1 whole square. And it's the same on the other side because it's a symmetrical shape. So that gives me 1 and 2 other whole squares to add on. So now I can add all my parts together, all my square units together, and that gives me 21 centimetres squared in total, so 21 centimetres squared. Challenge 2, question 4. Again, we looked at how to approach these in the teaching video. Looking at A first, which is the playing card, it's 9 centimetres long and 6 centimetres wide. Remember our formula, area equals length times width. So for question A, which is the playing card, the area is 9 times 6, which is 54 centimetres squared. For B, it's the palette of paint, so we've got 18 times 6. 18 long and 6 wide. Now we're going to have to do a little sum to work this one out. So I'm going to do 18 times 6. As you can see here when I did that, I got 108. So the paint palette is 108 centimetres squared. Shape C is the football pitch, so this time it's 100 metres times 64. So I'm working in metres this time. Now if we multiply something by 100, we know that that moves up 2 houses. It moves up 2 columns in value. And 64 multiplied by 100 is 6,400 or 6,400. This time we're working in metres squared, so it's 6,400 metres squared. D was this little whiteboard, which was 50 centimetres times 30 centimetres. And it's just about using your multiplication strategies to do this efficiently. We know from our tables that 5 times 3 equals 15. So if we know 5 times 3, we can do 50 times 30. And the way we think about that is each number, the 50 is 10 times bigger than 5, and 30 is 10 times bigger than 3. So our answer altogether is going to be 100 times bigger. 10 times 10 is 100. So instead of 15, our answer will be 1500 or 1500 centimetres squared. We always keep it in the same unit that we did our sum in. We did 50 times 30 centimetres, so we're keeping it as 1500 centimetres squared. Now for E, if you remember back to our teaching video, we were talking about the football goal and the fact that it's 8 multiplied by 2.5, which seems like quite a complicated sum at first. But we're going to start just by doing 8 multiplied by the 2. We'll worry about the half in a minute. We know from our tables that 8 times 2 is 16. So that part is 16 metres squared. We then have to do 8 multiplied by a half. Okay, and as we said in our teaching video, multiplying by a half is the same as dividing by 2. Okay, so multiplying by a half is the same as dividing by 2. So I know that 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we have 16 plus 4 metres squared, which gives me 20 metres squared.